Ladies and gentlemen, there is a profound truth that many of us overlook in our journey through life. Your happiness is too precious to be placed in the hands of those who don't value it. Too often we find ourselves bending, compromising, and sacrificing our joy for people who fail to appreciate our efforts. Today, I want to remind you of a vital principle. You must stop sacrificing your happiness for people who don't appreciate you. Firstly, understand your worth. You are inherently valuable, and that value doesn't fluctuate based on others' perceptions. Your self-worth is non-negotiable. When you begin to grasp this, you will stop seeking validation from those who cannot see your true essence. True relationships are built on mutual respect and growth. If someone isn't contributing to your well-being, they may be detracting from it. Surround yourself with individuals who uplift you, who see the best in you, and who challenge you to be your best self. Remember, your happiness is your responsibility. No one else can or should bear that burden. When you prioritize others' opinions over your peace, you hand them the keys to your emotional state. It's time to take those keys back. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it's necessary. Boundaries define the respect you command. When you let people overstep without consequence, you teach them that your feelings are secondary. Establish limits to protect your emotional health. It is far more rewarding to be authentic than to gain approval from others. Authenticity over approval should be your mantra. When you live authentically, you attract those who resonate with your true self, not a facade. Consider the cost of people-pleasing. The energy spent on appeasing others could be used to cultivate your dreams and goals. The cost of pleasing is too high when it drains your spirit. Attitude should be reciprocal. Appreciate those who appreciate you. Relationships should be a two-way street where both parties invest in each other. If you find yourself giving without receiving, it's time to reassess that relationship. Don't be afraid to let go of toxic relationships. Holding on to people who don't value you is like holding on to a cactus. The tighter you grip, the more pain you feel. Let go and find peace. Cultivate self-love as the foundation of your interactions. When you love yourself deeply, you become resilient against negativity and insensitive people. Self-love empowers you to walk away from situations that don't serve your highest good. Remember this: your purpose is more important than pleasing others. You were created with a unique destiny that only you can fulfill. Don't let others' opinions distract you from the path you are meant to walk. In closing, I urge you to protect your happiness fiercely. Don't sacrifice it for anyone who doesn't appreciate it. Embrace your worth, cherish your peace, and live authentically. Your happiness is a gift. Treasure it and share it with those who truly value you. Understanding your intrinsic value is the cornerstone of living a fulfilled and confident life. When you recognize that your worth is not dependent on external validation or the opinions of others, you gain a profound sense of self-assurance. This self-worth is something that must remain constant, no matter the circumstances or the people you encounter. It is non-negotiable because it is the essence of who you are. Many people fall into the trap of measuring their value through the lens of others' approval, often compromising their own needs and desires to fit someone else's expectations. This is a dangerous path, as it leads to a cycle of dependency on external validation, which is both fleeting and unreliable. Your value is inherent. It was bestowed upon you at birth and is not subject to the whims of societal standards or the fluctuating opinions of those around you. To truly embrace your self-worth, you must first understand that it is tied to your unique abilities, your character, and the contributions you make to the world. No one else has the power to diminish or define it. When you hold steadfast to this belief, you become resilient to criticism and rejection, seeing them not as reflections of your value, but as opportunities for growth or mere differences in perspective. In every interaction and relationship, this sense of worth should guide you. It should inform the decisions you make about who you allow into your life and how you let them treat you. By recognizing that your value is intrinsic, you set a standard for how you expect to be treated, and you naturally attract those who see and appreciate your worth. Living with this understanding of self-worth empowers you to make choices that align with your true self. It allows you to set boundaries, pursue your passions, and engage in relationships that are mutually respectful and enriching. It is the foundation upon which you build a life of authenticity and fulfillment, free from the need for external approval. True relationships are a cornerstone of a fulfilling life, providing support, encouragement, and a sense of belonging. These connections are not merely about companionship, but about fostering an environment where both individuals can thrive and grow. In genuine relationships, there is a mutual exchange of respect, love, and understanding that propels both parties towards their best selves. When you surround yourself with people who uplift you, you create a network of support that acts as a foundation for your personal development. These relationships are characterized by encouragement, where your achievements are celebrated and your struggles are met with empathy and support. The people who truly care about you will challenge you to rise above your limitations and inspire you to pursue your goals with vigor and confidence. Growth in relationships is not just about personal achievements, but also about emotional and spiritual development. It involves learning from one another, sharing wisdom, and providing constructive feedback that helps each person evolve. In these relationships, there is no space for envy or competition, only a shared desire to see each other succeed. The essence of true relationships lies in their reciprocal nature. It's not about what one can take, but what both can give. When you find yourself in relationships where the energy and effort are not equally matched, it can lead to feelings of resentment and imbalance. Healthy relationships thrive on equality and mutual investment, where both parties are willing to put in the work to nurture and sustain the bond. In these environments, you feel safe to be your authentic self, free from judgment or fear of rejection. The people who truly value you will accept you for who you are, flaws and all, and will stand by you even when the going gets tough. They will recognize your potential and encourage you to reach for the stars, providing a steadfast support system that helps you navigate life's challenges. Surrounding yourself with such individuals is essential for your well-being and personal growth. When you are in the company of those who genuinely care for your success and happiness, you are more likely to thrive in all areas of your life. These relationships become a source of strength, inspiration, and motivation, helping you to become the best version of yourself. Your happiness is a personal responsibility that should not be entrusted to others. It is a state of being that comes from within, shaped by your choices, attitudes, and the way you perceive the world. While it is natural to seek joy in relationships and external achievements, true happiness is rooted in self-awareness and self-fulfillment. Many people fall into the trap of believing that their happiness is dependent on the actions or approval of others. This mindset can lead to a perpetual cycle of disappointment, as it places the power of your emotional well-being in someone else's hands. When you prioritize others' expectations over your own needs, you sacrifice your inner peace, often finding yourself in situations that drain your energy and diminish your sense of self. Taking responsibility for your happiness means acknowledging that you have the power to shape your experiences. It involves making conscious choices that align with your values, passions, and goals. By doing so, you create a life that reflects your true self, rather than one molded by external pressures or societal standards. This autonomy empowers you to set boundaries, pursue your dreams, and engage in activities that bring you genuine joy. Understanding that happiness is an internal state also means cultivating a positive mindset and practicing gratitude. It requires focusing on the aspects of life that you can control and finding contentment in the present moment. By shifting your perspective to one of abundance rather than lack, you open yourself up to a more fulfilling and joyful existence. In taking charge of your happiness, you also become more resilient to life's inevitable challenges. Instead of relying on others to lift you up, you develop the inner strength to navigate difficulties with grace and optimism. This self-reliance fosters a sense of empowerment, allowing you to move through life with confidence and purpose. Boundaries are essential in maintaining respect and protecting your emotional well-being. They serve as the invisible lines that define what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior in your relationships and interactions. Establishing these boundaries is a crucial aspect of self-care, as they help you preserve your mental and emotional health by preventing others from overstepping or taking advantage of your kindness. When you set boundaries, you communicate your needs and expectations clearly. This clarity helps others understand how to treat you and what you require to feel respected and valued. Boundaries are not about keeping people out, but about creating a safe space where mutual respect can flourish. They allow you to engage in relationships from a place of strength and confidence, knowing that your limits are acknowledged and honored. Self-care. Without boundaries, you may find yourself constantly giving in to others' demands, leading to feelings of resentment and burnout. This imbalance can erode your self-esteem and create a dynamic where your needs are consistently overlooked. By setting firm boundaries, you establish a framework that ensures your well-being is prioritized and your relationships are built on a foundation of equality and respect. Creating boundaries involves self-awareness and assertiveness. It requires you to recognize your limits and have the courage to communicate them effectively. This can be challenging, especially if you are accustomed to pleasing others or fear conflict. However, the long-term benefits of setting boundaries far outweigh the temporary discomfort of asserting yourself. Section 1. They empower you to take control of your life and interactions, ensuring that you are treated with the dignity and respect you deserve. Boundaries also play a significant role in fostering healthy relationships. When both parties understand and respect each other's limits, it creates an environment of trust and mutual understanding. This respect for boundaries allows relationships to thrive, as both individuals feel secure in expressing their needs and desires without fear of overstepping or being taken for granted. This decision to find workable boundaries at home is especially important when both parties are internationally linked. Living authentically is one of the most powerful things you can do for your well-being and peace of mind. Authenticity is about being true to yourself, embracing your unique qualities, and acting in alignment with your values, rather than molding yourself to fit others' expectations. In a world that constantly pressures individuals to conform, choosing authenticity is an act of courage and self-respect. When you seek approval from others, you often end up compromising your true self. You may find yourself adopting behaviors, attitudes, or beliefs that are not your own, simply to gain validation or acceptance. This can create internal conflict as you begin to feel disconnected from your true identity. Over time, this disconnection can lead to feelings of frustration, confusion, and dissatisfaction. But disconnection is the key to freedom, and confusion is the key to salvation. Being authentic means embracing your individuality, including your strengths, flaws, dreams, and passions. It means showing up as the person you truly are, without pretense or masks. When you live authentically, you no longer waste energy trying to meet other people's expectations or seeking their approval. Instead, you focus on what brings you joy, fulfillment, and purpose. One of the most profound benefits of living authentically is the freedom it brings. When you stop trying to please everyone around you, you free yourself from the pressure to conform to societal norms or to be someone you're not. This liberation allows you to make choices that align with your true desires, rather than making decisions based on fear or the desire for external validation. Authenticity also attracts the right people into your life. When you present your true self, you naturally draw in individuals who resonate with you on a deeper level. These people appreciate you for who you are, rather than for the image you project. Authentic relationships are rooted in mutual respect and understanding, creating bonds that are far more meaningful and fulfilling. Living authentically is not always easy, especially in environments where conformity is the norm. It requires courage to stand firm in who you are, even when it may be uncomfortable or when others may not understand. However, the rewards of living authentically far outweigh the challenges, as it leads to greater peace, self-acceptance, and a life that is truly your own. The cost of people-pleasing is often more significant than we realize, and it can take a heavy toll on our mental and emotional well-being. When you constantly seek to please others, you prioritize their needs and desires over your own, often at the expense of your happiness and peace of mind. This self-sacrifice may seem like a noble act in the moment, but in the long run, it leads to exhaustion, resentment, and a diminished sense of self-worth. People-pleasing can manifest in many forms, from constantly saying yes when you want to say no, to abandoning your own goals and values to meet the expectations of others. It often stems from a deep-rooted fear of rejection or a desire for approval. However, this behavior creates an imbalance in relationships as one person's needs are consistently put ahead of their own. Over time, this imbalance can lead to feelings of frustration and bitterness as your own needs go unmet. The emotional toll of people-pleasing is significant. When you constantly bend to the will of others, you may begin to lose sight of your own desires, dreams, and values. Your life becomes a series of reactions to others' demands, and you may feel disconnected from your true self. This lack of alignment can result in a profound sense of dissatisfaction, as you realize that the life you are living is not your own, but rather one that has been shaped by the expectations of others. In addition to the emotional cost, people-pleasing also drains your energy and resources. The constant effort to meet others' expectations leaves little room for self-care or personal growth. You may find yourself spread too thin, unable to focus on what truly matters to you. This depletion can lead to burnout, both physically and mentally, making it harder to navigate life with clarity and purpose. Ultimately, the cost of people-pleasing is not just about the energy it takes, but also about the price you pay in terms of your own happiness and fulfillment. By prioritizing others' needs over your own, you lose sight of what truly brings you joy and meaning in life. In the end, people-pleasing only serves to weaken your sense of self and compromise your emotional health. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in life, but it should always be a two-way street. When you express gratitude, it should not only be for the people who show kindness or support to you, but also for those who genuinely appreciate your presence and efforts in their lives. Too often, gratitude becomes a one-sided gesture, where one person continuously gives without receiving acknowledgement or appreciation in return. Systematically, this creates an imbalance that can erode the foundation of any relationship. In healthy relationships, gratitude flows both ways. It is a mutual exchange of recognition, where both parties feel valued and appreciated. When you show gratitude to those who support you, it deepens the bond you share. Similarly, when others express gratitude for your contributions, it reinforces your sense of worth and strengthens the relationship. This reciprocal appreciation fosters an environment of trust and respect, where both individuals feel acknowledged for the effort and love they bring to the table. One of the dangers of a gratitude imbalance is that it can lead to feelings of being taken for granted. If you are constantly giving and never receiving the same level of appreciation, you may start to feel unimportant or unappreciated. Over time, this can lead to resentment, as you begin to question why you are putting in the effort if it's not reciprocated. It can also cause emotional exhaustion as you continually give without replenishing your own emotional reserves. On the other hand, when gratitude is mutual, it creates a positive feedback loop that strengthens the connection between people. The act of giving and receiving appreciation encourages both individuals to invest more into the relationship, knowing that their efforts are noticed and valued. This mutual respect and recognition create a healthy dynamic where both parties are empowered to be their best selves, knowing that they are supported and appreciated. End quote. In any meaningful relationship, the exchange of gratitude becomes a powerful tool for building deeper connections. It fosters an environment where both people feel safe to express their needs, share their successes, and support each other through challenges. When gratitude is shared equally, it enhances the quality of the relationship, making it a source of joy, fulfillment, and lasting trust. Recognizing when it's time to let go of toxic relationships is one of the most crucial steps in protecting your peace and emotional health. Not all relationships are meant to last, and some people, no matter how hard we try, may not be capable of offering the respect, love, or support we need. Toxic relationships, whether they stem from manipulation, disrespect, constant negativity, or emotional drain, can have a devastating impact on your life. Clinging to these relationships out of fear, obligation, or a desire for change can prevent you from experiencing true growth and happiness. The first step in letting go of toxic relationships is identifying the signs. These may include constant criticism, gaslighting, emotional manipulation, or feeling drained after interactions. You might find yourself constantly walking on eggshells, trying to avoid conflict or please the other person at the expense of your own emotional well-being. Over time, this leads to a gradual erosion of your self-esteem, leaving you feeling exhausted, undervalued, and even confused about your own worth. Another sign of a toxic relationship is the imbalance in effort and investment. If you are always the one giving while the other person takes without offering any form of reciprocity, it creates a one-sided dynamic. This imbalance can lead to feelings of resentment, as your needs go unmet and your efforts go unnoticed. Relationships should be built on mutual respect, trust, and care, But in toxic relationships, these elements are often lacking or distorted. Letting go of a toxic relationship requires great strength and courage, as it involves breaking away from a cycle that may have been ingrained for a long time. It can feel like a loss, especially if the relationship has been part of your life for years, or if you feel a sense of duty to the other person. However, holding on to unhealthy connections only perpetuates the cycle of pain and discomfort, hindering your ability to thrive and experience genuine joy. When you let go of toxic relationships, you free yourself to create space for healthier connections. This process allows you to surround yourself with people who value you, support your growth, and respect your boundaries. Letting go is not an act of abandonment or neglect, but one of self-preservation. By releasing the toxic, you open the door for new, more positive experiences and relationships that align with your true self and contribute to your well-being. The importance of self-care cannot be overstated, as it is essential for maintaining your mental, emotional, and physical health. In a world that often prioritizes productivity, work, and the needs of others, it's easy to neglect your own well-being. However, self-care is not a luxury or an afterthought. It is a necessity for a balanced and fulfilled life. By taking care of yourself, you ensure that you have the energy, clarity, and strength to handle life's challenges and to be there for others in a meaningful way. Self-care goes beyond the occasional spa day or indulgence. It encompasses all the activities that nourish and recharge you, both physically and mentally. It includes things like getting enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, exercising, and practicing mindfulness. But it also involves taking the time to check in with yourself emotionally, setting boundaries, and engaging in activities that bring you joy and peace. One of the key aspects of self-care is learning to listen to your body and mind. When you are feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or drained, it's essential to recognize these signs and take action to replenish your energy. Ignoring your body's signals or pushing through exhaustion only leads to burnout, physical illness, or mental fatigue. Regular self-care allows you to stay in tune with yourself so you can make adjustments before reaching a breaking point. Mental self-care is just as important as physical self-care. Taking care of your emotional health involves engaging in practices that help you manage stress, develop resilience, and maintain a positive mindset. This might involve journaling, meditation, therapy, or simply taking time to unplug and reflect. By prioritizing your emotional well-being, you equip yourself with the tools to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease and grace. Self-care also includes fostering your personal interests and passions. When you dedicate time to the activities that bring you joy, whether it's reading, creating, traveling, or spending time with loved ones, you create a sense of fulfillment that contributes to your overall well-being. These moments of joy and connection nourish your soul, allowing you to show up as your best self in every area of your life. Prioritizing self-care is not selfish. It is an act of self-respect and a vital step toward living a life of purpose and happiness. When you take care of yourself, you are better equipped to handle life's challenges, achieve your goals, and support others in a healthy, sustainable way. It's not about doing everything perfectly, but about consistently making choices that honor your needs and promote your well-being. You have the power to choose who you allow in your life, and this power is essential for maintaining your emotional and mental health. Far too often, people feel obligated to keep toxic or draining individuals in their lives due to a sense of loyalty, guilt, or fear of conflict. However, you are not obligated to carry the weight of other people's negativity or dysfunction. The relationships you engage in should contribute to your well-being, not detract from it. Choosing who you let into your life is a reflection of how much you value yourself and your time. The people you surround yourself with have a profound influence on your mindset, your energy, and your overall sense of fulfillment. If you consistently allow people who bring negativity, criticism, or disrespect into your space, you are inviting toxicity into your life. These kinds of relationships can wear you down, leaving you feeling drained, frustrated, or emotionally unstable. On the other hand, choosing to surround yourself with individuals who are supportive, encouraging, and aligned with your values can have a transformative impact on your life. These are the people who will inspire you, challenge you to grow, and celebrate your victories. They will listen to you without judgment, offer their perspective without manipulation, and respect your boundaries without question. They want you to succeed. They want you to thrive, to succeed. They understand that your happiness is not their responsibility, but they contribute to it by being positive and uplifting forces in your life. It's important to realize that not everyone will appreciate or respect the boundaries you set, and that's okay. You are not required to maintain relationships with people who cannot offer you the same level of respect or support that you offer them. In fact, letting go of relationships that do not nurture or add value to your life is an act of self-preservation. But it may be difficult to release those who have been part of your life for a long time. But sometimes distancing yourself from people who no longer serve your growth is necessary for your personal development. By choosing wisely, you allow yourself the space to invest in relationships that are mutually beneficial, ones that help you become the best version of yourself. Your circle of influence should empower you, not deplete you. When you actively choose to engage with people who respect and uplift you, you not only protect your peace, but also create an environment where you can thrive, pursue your passions, and live with purpose. In the journey of life, your happiness and well-being should never be compromised for the sake of pleasing others who do not value you. It's essential to recognize your worth, set boundaries, and surround yourself with those who genuinely appreciate your presence. By taking responsibility for your happiness, practicing self-care, and choosing relationships that nurture and uplift you, you create a life that is fulfilling and true to who you are. Remember, you are worthy of love, respect, and joy, and it is within your power to build a life that reflects these values. Let go of what no longer serves you and embrace the freedom to live authentically and joyfully.